hope you enjoy By Hook or By Crook. Thank you.
Need upgrading or they'll be lost forever.
You won't be able to go riding if there isn't a bridle path.
Well, some people think horses shouldn't be allowed in the forest at all because they stir up mud so. They think they should go around the outside of the forest. People in cars just don't understand people on horses.
There are some people who haven't been here very long who don't like horses going up and down their gravel.
Well, it's not horses that do the damage, it's the cars.
New people don't like things that crow and cattle that blare.
All the little farms have gone. And the milk lorries that used to take the churns through the woods, all gone.
My granny told me once that people used to come from all over to Broadlawn for a day out. They'd put swings in the trees, throw sweets on the grass for the children to scramble for. And the lady in the cottage over there used to boil up the copper for tea.
That sounds painful.
She means the copper kettle.
My auntie once told me that the woods and ever blown for gypsies too. She used to know the midwife who helped them give birth right here, in the cool shade.
The woods are darker now with all the holly and the undergrowth. More mysterious.
People get lost in the woods and never found.
Apparently a foreign student once spent all night here in the forest when her horse bolted. She couldn't find her way out.
The babe in the wood. She was found the next morning, safe and sound, covered with leaves for warmth.
Lost in a wood of oaks and beeches, the darkness surrounds you. Whisper of secrets, lost in the ghosts of long dead trees.
Most people at school don't even know it's here.
Well, we don't want Holt Forest to become like the New Forest, do we? Spoiled because so many people go there.
But here it smells of something dead. When I used to ride a few years back, I'd put a sprig of honeysuckle in my collar to overcome the smell. And you don't get much birdsong now.
But I saw birds galore. I saw finches and woodcocks and partridges, all sorts of birds and tits.
We used to have the right to collect fuel. When a tree come down, we went in and cleared it up.
If a tree comes down across the bridle path now, you're stuck.
I wish you could have seen the woods like it used to be. All lovely, sunny little glades.
You'd have to go back 50 years for that.
Bluebells and harebells, cattle grazing, like in Piper's lawn, where they used to dig up the clay and make pipes.
If they want to keep cattle in the forest again, they've got to find a way of keeping them in somehow. Otherwise, we're going to have another huge scare like foot and mouth. Cattle grids and cars and cattle on the road. It just won't work. It's fencing that's what you need. Now, what's this about English Nature's management plan?
The echoing backs, the crackle of a branch, the rustle of autumn leaves. A fool sees not the same tree that a wise man sees.
Management plan? We should leave this forest exactly as it always has been, as it was.
But people expect their common rights, which some people know nothing about. Remember Bournemouth Town Hall, 1973? What that Mr. Settle, the Commissioner, said to us residents?
I have a strong objection to giving anyone rights over another man's land. That man being Ralph Banks of Kingston Lacey.
Mr. Settle, he thought there weren't any common lands over which common rights could exist in this day and age around Bournemouth.
But us commoners, we proved him wrong. And what made him learn the error of his ways? It was coming here to see for himself. Then he changed his tune. He said how he could feel how little the place had changed since time immemorial.
That's the heart of it. Our memorials.
These common lands of Holt.
Enter a world of hopes and beaches. The mystery surrounds you. Walk in a wood of ash and hazel in the evening breeze, and the willow seeds thrill like great bells, spun by the holly leaves. It takes only minutes to fell a tree, and a lifetime to grow.
Hansel and Gretel lived with their mother and father in a poor little cottage on the edge of the woods. Oh, they were ever so poor. Poor Hansel and Gretel. Poor Hansel and Gretel. Shall we say, ah, for Hansel and Gretel? 1, 2, 3. Ah, poor Hansel and Gretel. Poor Hansel had to stay at home all day making broomsticks out of the few bits of wood that his father was allowed to take from the forest. Well, he was jolly fed up with this, wouldn't you be? Yes!
I'm fed up with this. Why do I have to work and make brooms?
Well, Gretel, his older sister, felt very sorry for him. So she thought she would cheer him up by teaching him how to dance, children. You see if you can join in. Are you ready? Rather come and dance with me, both my hands I offer thee. Right foot first, left foot then, round about and back again. That looks very hard to do. I'll see if I can follow you. Show me what I ought to do, so that I can dance like you. With your hands you tap, tap, tap. With your foot you tap, tap, tap. Right foot first, left foot then, round about and back again. With your hands you tap, tap, tap. With your foot you tap, tap, tap. Right foot first, left foot then, round about and back again. Oh, that did cheer Hansel up. But, of course, they were very worried that Mother would soon appear. And what would she say if she caught them dancing instead of working?
What's all this noise and merriment? Oh, you two! You better get up to bed, and no food for you either.
That's not fair, is it? Poor Hansel and Gretel having to go to bed with no tea. Oh. Well, of course, you know what's going to happen next, don't you? Father's going to come back from the forest. And what is he going to say when he finds out what's been going on?
Is that you, Father? Come in here, I've got something to tell you. Those children, oh, they're so useless. I think we better get rid of them. And they eat too much. So we'll have to take them into the forest. What's wrong with you? What do you mean? You eat a lot too, I've seen you. Yes, what we need to do is get rid of them. We'll lose them in the woods. Come on, Father.
What a nasty mother! Goodness me, she must be very poor and very fed up to want to do that. But luckily for Hansel Hansel and Gretel, they were listening through the floorboards. Have you ever done that? Have you ever heard Mummy and Daddy talking downstairs below and tried to hear what they were saying? Well, Hansel and Gretel overheard. And Hansel said to his sister not to worry. He had a good plan to help them find their way back through the forest so they wouldn't be lost. Hooray! Good old Hansel! Well, what he decided to do was to take the bread that he knew that his mother would give him in the morning, because she did that every morning for breakfast, and he would place some little crumbs of bread all on the pathway as they went along through the forest, so that when they were left on their own, they could simply turn around and follow the trail of bread back again. Do you think that was a good idea? Yeah! It was, wasn't it? Yes. So you count with me then, and let's see Hansel putting the bread trail down. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All the way back home. Well, the next morning came, and they were ready to go into the woods. And Gretel sang a happy little song about the woods as they went along. There is a little man standing in the wood. He wears a bright green coat and a scarlet hood. Say, who can that man can be, standing there beneath the tree, in his bright green coat and his scarlet hood?
Oh, Father, where on earth has that boy got to, dawdling as usual?
Well, Gretel knew that Hansel was laying the trail, wasn't he? That's why he'd fallen behind. She hoped he would catch up very soon.
Ah, there you are, boy. Now listen to me. You've got some work to do. Father and I are going in to chop the woods. That's right, chop wood. And you've got to collect some berries for tea. Get on with it now. Come on, Father. Come on. That's it. Hold me hand. That's it. Lovely.
And so, of course, they were not worried, were they? They knew they were not lost. They could follow the trail. But oh, who can we see over here? Ah, the birds of the woods and the forests. And these birds are very hungry. Oh, they come flying and swooping through the skies, and they spot the bread down below. No! Oh, they're going to eat the bread. Oh, no! Oh, shoot, birds away! Shoot! Shoot! Oh, too late! All the bread has been eaten. Oh, no! What will happen now? The children will really be lost.
I'm scared. I'm so scared. I feel like my knees are knocking. Oh, as long as my feet. I feel all wibbly wobbly.
Oh, poor Hansel. Poor Hansel. Gretel tried to think of what she could to cheer him up a bit, but all she could think of was a song that her father had taught her, all about the dangers of the woods. Get out, my father cried. The witch is in my head. She's in my head and in my bed and in the candle flame. Don't cut the tree, my father cried, for the witch is in the she's in the leaves and in the sheets. Cloudy sky. they could find some peace. Night was falling, and they wished for the Sandman to come and bring them a peaceful sleep. Let's hope he will come. Watch, children, see if the Sandman comes.
I am the Sandman. I bring sleep, 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 sweet dreams, sweet dreams, sleep.
And so, as the leaves fell upon Hansel and Gretel, they went into a beautiful sleep with lovely dreams of beautiful birds and quiet angels all around. And so we leave them peacefully asleep.
Wasn't that lovely, children? Let us show our appreciation of the puppet show, children. Children, that will suffice. Thank you. Now turn around. Quickly. Come on, Fred. Good evening. I am Miss Booker, Miss Suzanne Booker, headmistress of Gaunt School, Holt Parish. I teach standards 4, 5 and 6. I believe we are a happy school. I favour a Christian approach to discipline, authority tempered by understanding. I rarely use the cane. Good evening. I'm Miss Booker, Miss Nellie Booker, sister to Suzanne. I teach standards 2 and 3, and I teach all the children singing. I too believe in a Christian approach to discipline, but alas, some of these country children need a very firm hand.
She let me round the ear last week.
Be quiet, Fred. Ladies and gentlemen, today is rather a special day. As part of our fair on Broad Lawn, we shall all be going on a family nature study walk. Isn't that exciting? Children, thank you, Miss Booker. No need to overdo it. We do not want tears before bedtime. I shall be pointing out a wide variety of flora and fauna. If you go ever so quietly, you may... will go ever so quietly. You may glimpse one of God's wild creatures. Of course, once the forest would have resounded with the howling of wolves and bears.
Really, Miss Booker?
Yes, dears, yes. Children, would you not interrupt? Please mind your manners. But these days, the woods are a much gentler place. Apart from the beautiful oak and beech trees, Capreolus, the roe deer. And if you are very lucky, melees.
What's that?
Our dear friend, Brock the badger. Then, of course, there is all the history.
Miss Booker, we do need to get the children back here before nightfall.
Oh, yes, of course, Miss Booker. Let us commence then. Come along, children.
Right, quickly, children. Line up into twos, please. Quickly. Hurry up.
partners.
Now, remember, do not stray from the path. And remember the golden rule. There is no talking while you're
Walking.
Is that understood, children?
Yes, Miss Booker.
Yes, Emily? Yes, Gertie?
Shall we go and find Miss Percival with a picnic, Miss Booker?
Yes, yes.
Hurry along, dears, and don't keep to the path. Are we all ready? Everyone? On the ready?
Yes. Do find a partner. Come along.
Morning we walk, sounding their syllables in the shade of oak. Horses crossed to Newman's Lane, by the Crockers to Dowager's Ford, over Raven's Ford at Turnham's Water, from thence to Clayford, and upstream to Guildford Lane.
I do believe we are. I'll see you later. I remember you from my class a couple of years ago. Now, ready, Miss Booker? I think we are. Time for some history. Apart from all the flora and fauna, let us now reflect upon the men who have walked through... And the women, Miss Booker? Yes, Miss Booker. The men and women who have entered these woods before us. The commoners from time immemorial, gathering wood for their fires by hook or by crook. Now, does anybody here know what that expression means? Anyone at the back? Yes, Maria.
Does it mean by a bell hook and the shepherd's crook?
Well done, dear. Yes, they could take wood, only what they could gather, by means of a bill hook or a shepherd's crook. Everybody?
A bill hook
or a shepherd's crook. Well done, dear. You have earned a house point. Now, yes, ladies and gentlemen, this forest has been privy. Not that sort of privy. Yes, dear, yes.
I need the privy.
Oh, for goodness sake! How why didn't you go before we left school?
I didn't need it, I'm in cups.
Don't you have that? Please do not see. Was I? Oh, yes. The forest has been privy. Party to some fascinating history. The famous Elizabethan Commission of 1596, which rectified the absent keeper's poor husbandry and secured commoners' continuing rights. And not 100 years later, that notorious trusted pretender, the Duke of Monmouth, was captured in these woods, having fled from Somerset following his defeat at the Battle of Sedgemoor. Now, I don't suppose you country children knew that.
Oh yes, Miss Booker. Grandpa
used to say. Miss Booker, I think we better be moving on. Oh, yes, yes, of course. Children, yes. Come along. Come along, children. What, children? Wait. Now, do look at this fine specimen, Quercus robur. Don't you just love Latin? So robust and safe. And a bulwark against those marauding barbarians. Oh, as our dear father used to say. Have I told you that our dear father was a rather eminent scientist?
Yes, Miss Booker.
Oh, many times. Yes, I have. When I was a girl, many moons ago, he used to take us walking every weekend. Sunday constitutional, he'd call it. Right, troops, he'd say. That was his little foible, you understand. Miss Booker, I do believe it is time to go and fetch the picnic.
Miss Booker,
yes, Miss Booker.
where are Gertie and Emily?
I do not know where Gertie and Emily are. I did indeed, and they should have... Gertie! Emily! Do, men, let us show a little bit of decorum, please. Now, where have you been?
Miss Percival, Miss Booker.
And did you find Miss Percival?
No, Miss Booker. We looked everywhere, Miss Booker.
Oh, really? Oh, where did we say we would meet her? I believe we said we'd meet her at the main road, just along this path. Children, you've all been jolly good. So let's have a little rest. Sit down here. And we'll be back shortly with the luncheon. Now, listen, children. You are not to move from this spot. Is that understood?
Yes, Miss Booker.
We shall be gone precisely 5 minutes. And Gertie and Emily, we will be leaving you in charge.
Yes, Miss Booker.
Understood, children?
Yes, Miss Booker.
Very well.
Well, we're seeing in wolves and bears, Miss Booker. And spooky, scary witches.
Children, have you not been listening to what Miss Booker has been saying? There are no wolves and there are no scary witches in Holt Forest anymore. Now, remember, remain here quietly and we will be back in 5 minutes. Right, children. Go along and fetch the picnic, Miss Booker. Where is the witch girl?
May. Have they gone? Yeah. I don't want to hear you. I know. Let's play a game.
Hooray!
Right then, in 2 teams. Miss Nellie Booker's class and Miss Suzanne Booker's class. What should we play?
Well, why don't we play Grandmother's Footsteps? Or hide and seek.
No, let's play the Spooky Stories of Holt Forest game. So, who's going to start?
I'll greet. You can all watch. Come on, everyone, get ready. Hurry, Martha. Well, long ago, long before we were born, they do say that there were a pair of wizened, wrinkled and wicked old witches living in this old forest.
Well, it is a bit obvious though, Miss Booker and Miss Booker.
Don't interrupt.
Sorry.
It's all right. Anyway, one day, one of the witches, whose name was Wilhelmina, arrived at this very spot.
With her magic black cat. nettles and sour curds away. Puss, it's no fun being a witch and having to live in scratchy bushes. My sister has a beautiful castle. It's not fair. Servant! Servant!
Yes, mistress!
Build me a house, a fine house, here, now.
Yes, mistress.
Too slow. Go and find some more people to help.
Where from, mistress?
I see. Travellers coming this way.
Just then, a group of travellers appeared walking down the path.
With their faithful dogs, look. We're just a group of weary travellers travelling through the woods. We're lost, we're tired, we're hungry, and we're desperate for some food.
The witch had a bright idea.
Hello, travellers. Welcome to Holt Forest. I couldn't help overhearing you saying you were a little hungry.
Yes, we are.
Very hungry.
We're just a group of
No
weary
need to wear yourselves out singing again. Now, if you do a little work for me, I promise to reward you handsomely. With plump haunches of roasted venison, barrels of best yeasty beer, mountains of rich rabbit pie.
But you ain't got no food like that.
Be quiet, you idiot! I'm a very powerful witch. I can do anything.
Except build a house.
Just imagine all that gorgeous grub going gooily down your greedy gullets. Taste the mincy-wincy morsels of meat in your chomping choppy wops, and the juicy-woosy bones.
Stop! We'll do it!
So the travellers got to work building a house.
We're done.
Done. Oh, we finished.
Oh, it's wonderful. My dream house. Oh, thank you.
So where's our food?
And where's our beer?
And where's my bone?
Oh, yes. Now, where did I leave it? Now I remember. By all the dark magic in this ancient forest, make them run, make them flee, turn these travellers into trees.
But just as the witch was about to enter her lovely new house, there was a terrible crash of thunder. The greedy witch's even greedier sister, Walpurga, had arrived on her magic broomstick.
What's this? A new house, sister? Maybe. What's it to you?
I want it.
You've already got a house.
Not like this one.
Too bad.
Off they go again. Always arguing.
Quiet,
you! Who asked your opinion? Gimbly gumbly, don't be thick. Turn silly servant into a stick. So, are you going to give me your house?
No.
Well, I just have to teach you a lesson. After her, Broomhilda.
Get her. Hecubar, move. Cat, no. No, what's away? Turn round. Zippity, woogity, woobity, woobity, gibbity, gobbity, woobity, wiggity, woobity.
Oh no, what's happening? We're turning into a tree.
And if you look closely at this old oak tree, you can still see the wicked witch's face.
Really? It looks just like Miss Nanny Booker. So what happened to the wonderful house that the poor travellers built?
Over the years it just tumbled down, was lost in the forest floor. But every midsummer's night, the same night on which the two witches fought and turned each other into this tree, they say that you can see the wonderful house again and hear the song of those poor,
weary travellers.
We're just a group of weary travellers travelling through the wood. We're lost, we're tired, we're hungry, and we're desperate for some food. Yeah, look at the tree. It just looks like a witch's face. That was a good story. Whole forest must be full of ghosts. For a witch or a bear, if you meet one in the woods, it will give you quite a scare. Down in the woods, dark in the woods, deep in the woods where the creatures creep. Down in the woods, dark in the woods, deep in the woods where the spiders sleep and the bees in the trees, buzzing in the breeze, buzzing in the rustling leaves. Down, dark, cold. Down, dark, cold.
The forest is full of magic, yes, but not the magic of horrid old greedy witches. It's nature's magic. Our Grampy says, green magic. Look around you. Listen. It's time for our story now. A story Grampy told Jenny, Susie and me about this very tree when we were out gathering mushrooms with him last autumn. Do you want to hear it?
Yes, please.
Ready, everyone?
Yes.
Well, you may not have known this, but this is probably one of the oldest and wisest trees in the wood.
How can a tree be wise?
If you listen, you'll find out, Fred Bratley. You see, once upon a time, long, long ago, wondrous and magical creatures from the other world came to Holt because it was so beautiful. They decided to live inside this very tree. On Midsummer's Eve, they would come out to play in the sunny clearing. First out would be the mischievous elves. Sometimes their pranks could upset forest children.
One of these elves killed my spider.
But help was at hand from the friendly fairies.
Yay! My spider's alive!
The elves were just pranksters. They weren't really cruel or evil. But there were some fierce creatures about in the forest. Like the scaly, fire-breathing dragons. They had just burnt 2 big holes in the magic oak tree when a strange and wondrous whinnying was heard. A magical unicorn appeared.
Dragon, stop your fire, else the forest will expire. With my horn I blow you peace, may your heated outburst cease.
From then on, the dragon too became a friend of the forest, and all was happy for many, many years. Josephine, you carry on.
Thanks, Emily. One day, some girls came riding through the forest on their horses, and they weren't looking where they're going, and... Ow! 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 Stupid old tree, blocking our way through the forest. All droopy and dangling. They chop it down. My father says they should take an axe to the horrid old dark wood. What use is it to anyone? Our house is a bit of brick nowadays. Well, this is what I think of the stupid tree. Yeah! Suddenly, they heard a squeak coming from the tree. And the girl suddenly fell in. Something's dragging her in! The others fetched the girl's father. Quick, it's gone into the tree! What do you mean she's got full Stupid old nasty oak tree! Give me back my daughter, I'll chop her into tiny pieces. So shocked and scared, he fell to his knees, and all of a sudden, his daughter came out, safe and sound. Father, we must never chop down this tree, for all of Mother Nature's magical creatures live inside her. The elves, the fairies, the dragons, and the unicorns. And if we had no forest, then all the magic would die. Before his very eyes, all the magical creatures came out and had a dance with him. You can join in too!
Enjoying the beauties of Mother Nature. What good children! Your luncheon is ready! Yay! Come on, children. Line up, please. Well done. Quickly. Hurry up. Miss Booker. Where are Fred and May? Gertie? Gertie, Emily.
We'll find them, Miss Booker.
Yes, run along and catch us up later. Where can they have got to? I don't know, but girls, do not be too long. Right, children, are we ready?
Yes, Miss Booker.
Well done. And as we go, we shall sing all things bright and beautiful.
Hey, they've gone. Where? Not sure. Can't see them. What shall we do, Fred? Listen. What is it? Not sure. A deer, maybe. Where? That way. What shall we do, Fred? Follow it. Have an adventure. All right. Fred. What, May? You frightened? No. You? No. Good. Come on, then.
The second Royal Commission of Inquiry into the maintenance and upkeep of the Forest of Wimborne Holt, year of our Lord, 1598. I, Sir John Poyntz, surveyor to the Duchy of Lancaster, come with 6 other commissions appointed to reveal the findings of the second Royal Commission of Inquiry into the
Boundaries.
Palings, livestock, and timber.
of Wimborne Holt Forest, property of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth.
God save the Queen! Authorised record of timber extracted from the forest. 52 trees used in the building of the Guild Chapel at Blandford Forum.
8 trees used for repairs to Holt Chapel on the authority of the Duchy of Lancaster.
4 long straight saplings for the spire of Wimborne Minster.
And the current quantity of timber in this forest?
6,697 timber trees of all sizes.
1,524 dotes.
which will suffice to maintain the paling for 30 to 40 years.
And what of the deer enclosed by the palings?
We have also examined the palings surrounding the forest and counted the deer currently residing in the forest. Only 3 years ago, in 1595, there were 80 head of deer in the forest and the chase, and 60 in the park.
Now, 3 years later, these numbers have greatly decreased because much of the fencing has been allowed to fall into disrepair.
And what does the keeper of the forest say?
Appointed keeper in 1594, Sir Thomas Shirley is rarely, if ever, in residence, preferring to spend his time travelling abroad or staying in his manor house of Sutton in the county of Surrey.
In his absence, he has, however, been exceedingly busy. For example, he has purchased burnt oak coppice for the sum of £20.
And that same coppice is now utterly spoiled by means of the ill fencing done.
Old Park coppice is in great part now clear spoiled by such great number of horse beasts as the greatest part shall never ever be recovered.
The park pale adjacent to his lodge is greatly in disrepair. Costs of repair 100 tons of timber, costing labour £40.
And furthermore, we have learned that during his time as keeper, Sir Thomas has ordered, without authorisation, for much of the timber in the forest to be felled and sold towards his own profits, and allowed most of the property to deteriorate.
Also stands accused of purchasing the right to collect tithes from the neighbouring parishes due to the governors of Wimborne Grammar School. The very next day after his purchase, Sir John is reported to have mortgaged the lease to a London goldsmith.
Stop. This commission must restrict itself to the management of the forest of Wimborne Holt and its impact on the farmers and commoners.
It is also reported that Sir Thomas has allowed certain encroachments upon the forest in recent years by neighbouring landowners.
Sir Matthew Arundel, the Cam Preston, has encroached some 200 acres.
We find evidence that Mr. John Arney of the Manor of Uddens claimed 400 acres of Holt Heath and has been molesting the Queen's tenants who are seen cutting turf there.
Go on,
Get off this land now! On!
Go! Get him!
Get off of there! Come on! Get going! Go on!
But we've always had commoners' rights to dig turf.
Not anymore. Get off!
But how do we warm our cottages?
You get off this land or we'll set the dogs on you!
We also find evidence that Mr. John Arney has shut up a lane at Uddens called Ringwood Way.
That's been used as a right of way, time out of mind.
Stop! You're not allowed this way.
But how do we get to Ringwood Market in time to sell our crops?
That's your problem!
Reverse Miller Land to Turbo Property.
Times have changed. Now clear off.
Go on!
How many more rights are they going to take away?
Not fair.
Enough! This commission of 1598 finds such initiatives to be contrary to the laws prescribed by the Duchy for the good maintenance and husbandry of the forest of Wimborne Holt. It is therefore recommended that Sir Matthew Arundel of Preston and Mr. John Arney of Uddens action be taken against these. It's also recommended that Sir Thomas Shirley be relieved of his position as Keeper of the Forest forthwith. The rights of the commoners, as well as the Keeper of the Forest, must be respected in such hard times as these.
This ends the commission of inquiry into the management of Holt Forest, year of our Lord, 1598. God save the Queen!
stories. Let 'em scold. Oh.
Is that you, Mr. Green?
Yes, George Green in the green.
In what?
The greenwood, you know, like Robin Hood. Hey, who put this bike here? Was it you two rascals, eh? Having a laugh, eh? Well, don't just stand there. Give us a hand.
Well, Fred, Mr. Green. But Mother said, come on, help me lift the bike. We shouldn't go near him. Why not? Because he drinks like a lord. Well, the Lord is good, Fred. You should know that. You were just praying. Not the Lord, a Lord. It's a saying, isn't it? Well, I don't care if he does drink the Lord. As a Lord. I like to drink. He gives me apples to eat. I don't care if he does drink the Lord. As a Lord. I think he can. He can't, like it says in the Bible.
Oh, thank you. Oh. Oh. Where am I?
You're in the forest, Mr. Green. Don't stop. Back again.
Ah.
You fell off your bike, Mr. Green.
Oh.
Because you were so...
Well,
Mind your max!
best be off on me way home then. Oh. Oh.
Careful!
Oh.
Hit the bike.
Oh. Oh. Oh, best sit down, I think. From France we do get brandy, from Jamaica comes rum, sweet orange and lemon, from Portugal comes strong ale and sweet cider, old England uphold. Give me the punch ladle, I'll fathom the bowl.
You're a good singer, Mr. Green. Did you learn at school?
No, never spent much time there. Too busy out here in the forest. Learnt all me songs from my father while we was working, see? Yeah, Arthur, my father's name. Arthur Green. Couldn't read or write, but he could butcher a pig as good as any man, and lay hedges and dig ditches and sing a good song and tell a good tale. That's why everybody liked him. I remember one day, early in the morning it were, these posh chaps comes knocking on our door. Bang, bang, bang they goes. We're the agents from the big house at Kingston Lacey, they says. Well, that's nice for you, says me father. So, Mr. Green, what about them holly trees you planted in your garden? Well, what about them, says me father. Them's not your property, says the agents. Them belongs to the Banks family. You stole them. No, says me father. Them just blowed over me fence one night and took root in me garden. Blowed over his fence. But them agents didn't laugh. Faces like pokers. They only went and took him to court. Just for some holly. But that weren't the end of it, lad. People in the forest didn't like it. And all the commoners from round here, see, they went with me father to the court in Wimborne and paid his fine for it. 10 shillings it were, 10 shillings. This forest belongs to all of us, me father used to say. Not just them posh folks what comes in here once in a while for hunting or to take a fine old oak like that one.
That's a good story, Mr. Green.
Yeah, true as that ditch I just fell in. There's lots of good stories about this forest. Yeah, some of them are funny, and some of them are scary. Would you like to hear some then?
Yes, please, but we have to find the others.
Oh,
We're a bit lost, Mr.
lost? Well, you'd best follow me then. I knows my way through this forest, sober or drunk. And while we're going, I'll tell you a story about the Duke of Monmouth. Now, where's me bike gone? Where have you hidden it?
Over here, Mr. Green.
Ah, right. Now, this goes back a long ways. Hundreds of years ago. Not that time means much in this forest. Like that tree over there, see him? He's been here more than 300 years, he has. In fact, he probably stood and watched what I'm about to tell you. Come on then, let's be off. Now, there was once this very rich and noble man, and he was known as the Duke of Monmouth. Protestant by faith he was. My father taught me a song about him. When stout young Jemmy went abroad to see the northern races, he met 10,000 on the road, and so war they were his graces.
What will we do? Well, we've done nothing wrong. Come on, we've got work to do.
When Stout Jimmy went abroad to see the northern races, he met 10,000 on the road, but suddenly were his graces. They flocked about him night and day, and make the sky to rain, and everyone seems to delight in Monmouth and the King.
Stop! That's enough. There'll no be no more of them rebel songs. Understand? Monmouth's defeated.
Beaten! By King James II, through King's army at Sedgemoor.
I knew it. I told you. No, it can't be true. They said all the people would follow him. I took buses out!
Here. Where is Sedgemoor then? Not around here, Amy.
Over west, in Somerset. Now listen here, you lasses. The Pitchfork Rebellion's over. The Raggle-Taggle army have all been killed or wounded. So we'll have no more of that rebel talk, nor of a true Protestant king. Ha! Do you hear?
You sure have got the true religion! Stay calm, Sarah. God bless the Duke of Monmouth!
That's right, Sarah, you tell him.
Silence, or I'll shoot.
You need to put a gag on that, Sarah, and that Amy Ferrance.
Don't you go causing no trouble now.
We've had enough fighting and fretting. Enough reaping a bitter, blood-red harvest. You girls are too young to remember, but we lost menfolk in the Civil War. Brothers, husbands, sons, both of them. We don't want any more of that. We don't want any more killing, do we? Monmouth only cared about himself, not commoners like you or I.
That's a lie, Watford Bardwell! You ain't come from around these parts! That's right, you filthy foreigner!
Where does she come from then?
Horton.
All of you. And you.
Now listen, Hans. We know Monmouth and some of his cronies had come through this forest. We followed him from Somerset, see?
And we know his horse has gone lame, so now he's on foot, with only one or two servants to help him.
Running away, like the Kirk cowards they are.
Lies!
Have you seen it? No. The Duke of Monmouth? No. Look, here. Here's his portrait.
Oh, for goodness sake, save yourselves, you foolish girls.
Handsome, isn't he? Nose as fine as china. Eyes like dark blue strawberries. And a true Prussian heart beating in him.
Won't look so pretty once we've ripped out his true Protestant heart. The crows and the worms have dined on him, so we've stuck him on a pole. Like all the other pitchfork rebels, chopped up and harvested into nice, neat quarters. The fields of the West Country are stooped full of them.
So then, which of you have seen him in his fine livery and all? There's money, a reward.
Go on, girls, think of your starving families.
That's right.
No, I've not seen him.
No. If I had mine, flying a percent like that.
They haven't been this way. It's a mighty big forest, and maybe they went that way.
You best be telling the truth. Ah,
Have you seen the Duke of Monmouth?
have you seen him? No. Seen him?
You seen the Duke of Monmouth?
Is he hiding here somewhere?
He's over there.
What's the Duke doing around here then, Sarah? Probably trying to get to the coast. Poole Harbour, maybe.
My God, keep him safe and speed him on this way.
Come on, time to fetch the next load.
What's that Amy Farrant staring at? She's a dope, that one.
That's
Just
true,
like her,
and-
no mistake.
Just like her mother before her.
And her father, do you remember him, John Farron?
Traipsing round the forest singing like a lark. What a family, look at her.
Weak in the head, isn't he? I think we've got to get away from him.
Here, Susan. The Duke of Monmouth. He's an handsome-looking fellow, isn't he?
Best not think too much on it, eh, Amy? Come on, let's go.
Oh, and eyes. Eyes as big as sloes.
Now the fatal fight is over. Valiant Monmouth must away. If we had but ammunition, we'd surely win the day.
What is this place here?
Careful, sir. Be careful. No one's seen us.
No one here at all?
No, just... Look, sire. Perfect.
Rags?
Peasant smocks, sire. If we put these on very quickly, we may yet evade capture. But hurry.
It's wet.
No time to worry now, sir. Hurry. They're gaining ground on us, sire.
What strange beast be that?
Quickly, sire. I beseech you.
Come on, squire, give me a hand here.
Yes, sire.
To think that it's come to this.
Make haste, sire.
Here. You're the Duke of Monmouth. It's you.
Shall I kill her, sire?
No.
But she will talk, sire.
No, you won't say anything, will you, child?
Do you hear? We were never here. Do you understand?
Here, child. Take this.
Sir, I beg you, we must fly! Sir!
Over there! But they went that way! You! Go!
Me, sir?
Where is he?
Who, sir?
The Duke of Monmouth, idiot!
I don't know, sir.
Well, we know he passed here just now. You must have seen him.
No, sir.
Someone in the farmhouse over there pointed us in this direction. What are you standing here for then?
Shaking like a leaf.
Yeah. What's that?
Where did you get this?
I found it, sir. Over there on the ground. He isn't here, sir.
It's a liar.
Which way did he go?
Don't know, sir.
Tell us, or I'll slit your pretty little throat.
They went that way, sir.
Come on.
Oh, in this wood I do despair, and for my life do pray. How should I know what game is
Outrage!
and what I ought to say?
All right, come on. Come on, come quiet. All right, it's a disgrace.
See.
Yeah, no, there you
It's so dark.
Right.
Overmighty fool, eh? Thought you would be king, eh? Now look at you. Dressed like a peasant. What's the cruel around? Does it ditch it?
Yeah. What are you looking at, Monmouth?
That is the wench who gave you away.
I didn't, sir. They forced me.
Would you listen to her, sire? Isn't that just like a woman?
May you and yours die a lousy death.
Come on, you. Young and Judge Jeffrey, where were you?
Come here.
That's my way.
She stood for a moment, Davy. The Duke of Monmouth's words still in her head. May you and yours die a lousy death. Then she threw the Duke's snuff box as far as she could into the forest. It was that, and some do say the curse spread down Amy's family like a creeper with their lives in its grip. Crops failed, families fell apart. So, children, what's right to do and what's wrong to do? Amy never knew. She asked her diary over and over what she should have done for the best. My grandmother used to say she buried it in the forest hereabouts, under the roots of a tree.
Oh, in this wood I do despair, and for my life do pray. How should I know what game is fair, and what I ought to say?
Oh dear. Oh, well done, children. Fred, where have you been? And who is he? Indeed. Fred, have we not instilled in you the dangers of straying from the path, of stepping out of line? Have we not instilled in you the dangers of speaking to strange men?
Please, miss, it was the wood that made us go exploring. We followed a sound to find deer.
And found me instead, George Green. And if I may say so, the boy's right. Once this forest gets its shoots into you, it's hard to resist.
Mr. Green, how does find you all again, Miss Booker? He told us all about the Duke of Monmouth. We know how he was captured. And Amy found, but isn't he spotted over there, Miss Booker?
Oh, how educative children. But why are you here in this wood?
Because, my dear young ladies, I do live here, in a cottage plumb in the centre of the forest. And me father before me, and his before him. No, goodness me, no. I got cabbages, I got roses, I got ducks, I got chickens, I got a good hearth, and all the wood the forest lets me have.
Don't you get cranky at night being noises in the woods?
Oh, I do that. Hear noises, that is. Strange and wonderful noises. And then I do imagine all sorts. But these trees never hurt anyone. It's only people who hurt.
Great, Mr. Green. Aren't you always getting lost?
Never. I know each tree in the forest and where it stands. I know all their ages and somewhat about what they're good for. In fact, why don't you missus bring the children up to the cottage someday? And I'll show them some of the forest secrets.
Oh, how wonderful! I do beg your pardon. I hate to interrupt, Mr. Green, but we really do need to get the children back to Broadlawn before nightfall.
So what are we waiting for, my dear? Let's be off on the path then. I'll have you back in the twinkle of a sparrow's eye. Well, would you care to ride pillion on my bicycle, dear?
I do think I ought to walk.
Ah, well, would have saved your poor aching feet, my dear. Come along then, we better move quickly.
Come along.
Moving nightfall.
Follow Mr. Green.
Come along then.
Come on, be careful.
Mr. Green. What, Fred? Listen. Is it the deer again? Not sure. Something stirring. Deep in the forest.
Fred, May, please, my dears, don't let us lose you again. Come along, and I will show you all the beauties of the evening as we pass.